Welcome to the 1 Minute Apologist. Apologetics seeks to give credible answers to curious questions, to give a defense.
What is the message of Colossians? Colossians is one of Paul's prison epistles, probably written from Rome in about AD 60 to 61, written to Gentile converts. The reason that Paul wrote this letter was to stress to his audience the supremacy of Jesus Christ. Unlike the book of Philippians that talks about the humiliation of Jesus, this particular book talks about the supremacy of Jesus, whereby the key verse is in Colossians chapter 1, verse 15, that describes Jesus as the firstborn of all creation. Now, if you've ever had a Jehovah's Witness come to your door, they might knock on a door and they'll say, hey, check it out. Look, Jesus isn't the second person of the Godhead. He's not God in the flesh. Look what it says right here. It says that he's the firstborn of all creation. And you might be stumped upon hearing that, as I would have been as well the first time. But that word, firstborn, comes from the Greek word prototokos, and it means basically the preeminent one. And so when it talks about Jesus being the firstborn, it's not saying that he's God's first created. Rather, Paul would have used another Greek word, protoktesis, versus prototokos. But this describes him as the preeminent one in all of God's creation. In fact, in Psalm 89, verse 27, we also see in the Septuagint that David is referred to as the prototokos, as the preeminent one of Jesse. So we know that if we were seeing Psalm 89, 27, that David was the lastborn of Jesse. Not the firstborn, yet it refers to him as prototokos, as the preeminent son of Jesse. So in Colossians chapter 1, we see that Jesus is the preeminent one, that Christ reigns supreme. And so Paul wanted his audience to know that Jesus Christ is above all.